Hello everyone, welcome to today's session. Assalamu alaikum. Guten Tag, hello. Just waiting for a few people to join before we start. Welcome, konnichiwa, dobrodan, hello. All right, let's make a start. So here we are going through today's pack, which is expanding brackets. And you will see that the questions get harder and harder as we go along the pack. Here is the first question. You can see this is from paper 1, November 2022. Press pause and have a go. When you're ready, press play. So this is saying expand 2 brackets A plus D. So what this means is that everything outside of the brackets, in this case 2, is going to be multiplying everything inside. So we are going to be multiplying, and then we're going to be multiplying here. So 2 multiplies A, and then 2 multiplies D. Okay, so this is 2 times A, which is 2A, and 2 times D, which is 2D. And they're both positive. So that's our final answer. Nice and easy. Okay, let's go to the next question. Also, in the description of the video are the exam questions, so you can download the exam questions and have a go yourself. Here is the next question. This is from paper 3, November 2021. You can see on this page there are a number of questions, but we're going to skip and stay focused on expanding brackets. So press pause and have a go. And so here again, we've got y is going to be multiplying y here. So that's going to be one thing. Then I've got y multiplies by 5. So that's y times y, which is y squared, y times 5, which is 5y, and it's positive. So both are positive. So hopefully you got that right. Let's look down the page and we can see we're going to skip the factorized question. And we're going to be doing the next one where it's got some brackets. So let's do that one as well. Okay, this one is worth a few extra marks. Press pause, and when you are ready, press play for the answer. Or if you're stuck, press play. Okay, so again, similar to before, I've got 2 brackets 5x take away 4 equals to 21. Now, because I've got 2 on the outside, I can see if I can divide 21 by 2, and I can't do that. It's going to give me a decimal. So because it's going to give me a decimal, I'm going to expand the brackets like I've done previously. So this is going to be 2 times 5x, and then 2 times minus 4. So 2 times 5x is 10x. And then I've got 2 times 4, which is 8. But this is a positive and that's a negative. So when I have different signs, they give me a negative. That equals to 21. Okay, so now that's done. Now, because I need to solve this, because that's what the question says, the question does say solve. That means I need to find out what x is going to be. Okay, so I'm going to do some working out now. Okay, so what is furthest away from x is the 8. So I'm going to remove the 8. Opposite of minus 8 is going to be plus 8. So I do that on both sides. The 8's cancel, so I'm left with 10x equals to 21 plus 8 is 29. And then I need to remove the 10 now. This is 10 times x. So opposite of multiplying by 10 is dividing by 10. So I'm going to be dividing both sides by 10. And so the 10 disappears. 10 divided by 10 is 1. So this is 1x, or just x by itself. And then this I can keep as a fraction, or I can change it to a decimal. 29 divided by 10 is the same as 2.9. Okay, and so that's my answer, 2.9. Slightly harder there, but again, it's to do with brackets, so we are going to be answering questions like that. Let's go on to the next question. Here is an analysis. So I've looked at different exam papers, and you can see expanding brackets, how this comes across in foundation. You can see I looked at 12 sets, and in every set it's come up. And so you can see it can be a paper 1 topic, which is non-calculator, as well as calculator. And you'll see from the questions, even though they are calculator papers, you don't really need a calculator to work it out. Okay, the next question. This is from paper 1 of May 2020. So we're going to skip the first one because it's not relevant for us. And we're going to go to the question that is there, which says expand, and it's got brackets there. Let's just hide these other questions. Okay, press pause and have a go. When you're ready, you can press play for the answer. And so this time outside the brackets, I've got the letter X. So again, similar to before, I'm going to be multiplying both terms inside the bracket. So you've got X times X, and then you've got X times 4 here. So X times X, and then you've got, which gives me X squared. And then you've got X times 4, which is 4X. You've got a positive and a negative, which gives me a negative. So my final answer is X squared minus 4X. Okay, well done if you got that right. Let's go to the next question, which is further down. So here, this time round, oops, let me just sort this out a little bit better. There we are. Okay, so here we have another question with brackets. It says solve. So press pause and have a go. When you're ready, press play for the answer. So this time around, we've got solve 7 brackets F take away 5 equals to 28. So similar to before, I'm just going to rewrite this. F minus 5 equals to 28. Similar to before, I am going to be expanding this. So I'm going to have 7 times F, and I'm going to have 7 times minus 5. 7 times F gives me 7F. Now I've got 7 times 5, which is 35. And then this is a negative there, so I'm going to take my negative there. So that gives me 28. And so now how do I find my F? I need to, first of all, I can see that what's furthest away from F, it's not 7, it's minus 35. So I can remove 35. Opposite of minus 35 is plus 35. Plus 35. And so 28 plus 35, what does that give me? 8 plus, it's a paper 1, a non-calculator, so 8 plus 5 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, so that's 63. So 7F equals to 63. And now I need to remove the 7. Opposite of times by 7 is divide by 7. Divide by 7 both sides. So I'm left with F equals to 63 divided by 7. So if I do my 7 times table, 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63. So 9. 7 times 9 is 63. So that's my answer, F equals to 9. Now, there's another way that you could also solve this. And this is the thing, sometimes when you do things in a kind of without thinking, if you continue to do it repetitively, you can just do this. This is perfectly correct, but just to kind of show you something else as well. If I looked at this question, and I can see that I'm going to be multiplying by 7. Now, before I multiply the brackets out, I can think about it. Does 7 go into 28? Okay. If 7 does go into 28, then brackets means multiply. So I can do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing. Divide by 7, divide by 7. So the 7 will disappear now. I'm going to be left with F take away 5 equals 28 divided by 7. 7, 14, 21, 28, that's 4. And now I can do the opposite of minus 5, which is plus 5 on both sides. So F equals to 9. So that's just a little trick that you need to kind of be aware of before you kind of, before you jump in. And that you can see the difference in the working out here. you've got 2 steps, divide and then add, whereas here you've expanded the brackets, that's 1 step, and then you've got the other 2 steps. Both methods are correct because we have the final answer the same. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, so this is now from paper 3, June 2022. You are allowed a calculator because it's paper 3, but you can see from the questions that we don't really need a calculator for this question. Okay, here is the next one. Press pause and have a go. When you are ready, you can press play for the answer. I'm just going to put this in a better position. Okay, so expand the brackets. So I'm going to be multiplying. I'm drawing these boxes out just so that you can see what we are getting, see what the working out is. Once you become confident on this, you don't need to draw boxes. So 3 times 4 is 12. Oops, 3 times 4. Let me write this out, show the working out. Let me just redo this. 3 times 4 is 12. Then you've got 3 times 2x is 6x. A positive number and a negative number gives me a negative. Okay, so that's my final answer there. Well done if you got that correct. Let's go to the next one. Now, here's a little quote I came across. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny, by C.S. Lewis. So we always everybody goes through hardships, and it's preparing us for something later on in life. GCSEs are a time when we're struggling, working hard, going through a lot of stress, but this will help us when we are older, because stress doesn't disappear. It's all about managing the stress. Right, here's the next question, paper 1, May 2019. We're going to skip these questions because they are not to do with brackets, and we're going to go to our question that does have brackets, which is this one here, 16a. Okay, you can see it's slightly harder than the first question, but it's a similar thing to what we've been doing. Again, press pause and have a go. When you're ready, press play for the answer. So outside of the brackets, we have 5. So we're multiplying 5 by 2m, and then we're going to be multiplying 5 by minus 3. So 5 times 2m gives us 10m. 5 times 3 gives us 15, and then positive and a negative gives me a negative. So my final answer is 10m take away 15. Okay, hope you got that right. Well done if you have. Let's go to the next question. Okay, this is from paper 1, May 2018. And you can see we're going to skip this first part, and we've got brackets here. So we are going to be focusing on these ones now. And again, similar to before, press pause, have a go. When you're ready, press play for the answer. So expand 4e, e plus 2. So again, similar to before, 4e is going to be multiplying by e, and then 4e is going to multiply 2. So this is 4e times e. That gives me 4e squared. 4e times 2, 4. So that's the same as saying 4 times 2 times e. 4 times 2 is 8. Then we've got the e, and it's a plus there in the middle. So my final answer is 4e squared plus 8e. Now the next one, part C, solve 3m take away 4 equals to 21. Again, pause the video, and then once you are ready, you can press play. So similar to before what I showed earlier, I've got in front of the brackets, I've got 3. I'm going to check, can I divide 21 by 3? And I can. I'm just going to rewrite this. M take away 4 equals to 21. So I am going to be dividing by 3 first. 21 divided by 3 is 7. Okay, do my 3 times table. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. So that's 7. And now opposite of minus 4 is going to be plus 4. on both sides. So I've got m equals to 7 plus 4 gives me 11. And similar to last time, if you want to, you can also expand the brackets. I'm going to show you the other way as well. If you did expand the brackets, so I've got 3 brackets m take away 4 equals to 21. And so I'm going to expand the brackets. Okay, 3 times m, and then 3 times 4. 3 times m is 3m. 3 times 4 equals to 12. And this is a negative there, equals to 21. How do I solve this now? Okay, so furthest away from m is negative 12, so I'm going to remove the negative 12. Opposite of minus 12 is plus 12. Plus 12 on both sides. 3m is left because the 12s will cancel. 21 plus 12, 21, 31, 32, 33. Okay, you can also just do column addition. 1 plus 2 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3. Remember, this is paper 1. And now, how do I remove the 3? This is saying 3 times m, so opposite of times is divide. Divide by 3. M equals to 33 divided by 3. 3 times 10 is 30, so that's 10, then 1 more, 11. So 3 goes into 33 11 times. And you can see the answers are the same. All right, so if you spotted that shortcut, that would help you. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe. Let's go to the next question. This is paper 3 of June 2023. If we look at this, we've got brackets here. So technically, this is not necessarily similar to what we've been doing before, but I'm just going to do it because it's there, right? So this is saying m squared to the power 3. So we have a power of a power, power of a power we multiply. So 2 times 3 gives us m to the power 6. Okay. Another way of looking at this is saying m squared 3, because of the 3, it's happening 3 times, once, twice, 3 times. We're multiplying 3 times. So m squared times m squared times m squared. And so we add the powers here, m to the power 6. Okay, so slightly detour, but sometimes these things are linked. Right, this is what we are focusing on. These are the simple brackets that we're doing. So expand 4p brackets p squared plus 3p. Press pause and have a go. When you are ready, press play for the answer. Okay, similar to before, we are multiplying 4p by p squared. And then 4p is going to be multiplying 3p. So we've got 4p times p squared. And then we've got 4p times by 3p. Okay, so what are we doing here? So we've got, if I write this out, 4 times p, and p squared is p times p. So you can see this becomes 4p to the power 1, 2, 3, p cubed. Okay, so hopefully that's clear. And then now we've got this one here. So if I write this out, this is saying 4 times p times 3 times p. I'm going to put the numbers together. So the numbers go together, 4 times 3, p times p. 4 times 3 is 12, and then p times p is p squared. So this is just 12p squared. And then I've got the sign there, positive. Okay, so you can see this is getting harder now, much harder than where we started. And I'm just thinking, I think this also may be a higher question as well. So we're now going into higher and foundation questions. Okay, here, this is the next question. From paper 2, June 2022. Press pause and have a go. When you're ready, press play for the answer. So this question is similar to the one we've just done before. So it's x cubed to the power 5. Now, so we've got a power of a power, so we can just multiply them. 3 times 5 gives us x to the power 15. So that's nice and straightforward. Now, this is slightly different. This is different to what we've done before. But if you think about it, it's very similar to what we've done. We've got one set of brackets. That's something we've done already. And we've got another set of brackets, which is what we've done. And so what we're now doing is we're doing two brackets together. And so that's what we're going to be doing now. So this is going to be multiplying by 4 is going to be multiplying by x. 4 is going to be multiplying by 3. We're going to have 7 that is going to be multiplying by 4. And then we're going to have 7 that is going to be multiplying by negative 2. I'm going to put the sign there because I might forget. Okay, so I've got that there. So 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 3 is 12. And it's positive, so I'm going to put my sign there, plus. Then I've got 7 times 4, which is 7, 14, 21, 28. And again, they're positive. And then I've got 7 times minus 2x. So a positive and a negative makes a negative, so I don't need to worry about my sign. 7 times 2 is 14, and I've got x. Okay, now I'm going to look at my things here. Now I've got here an x term. This is a number term, 12. 28 is a number term. 14 is an x term. So this is what I call collecting like terms. So I'm going to work on the x terms first. So I've got 4x take away 14x. Okay, so those are the like terms. So I'm going to do some working out by the side. 4 take away 14. 4 take away 14 gives me minus 10. So this is minus 10x. Okay, now I've got my number terms, 12 plus 28. So I can put that in, add them together as well. This is a paper 2, so I can just put it in a calculator. 12 plus 28 is 40. So this is plus 40. And that is my final answer. So a lot more work now. And so this is now the beginning of a higher paper. So this is the crossover questions. This is in both foundation and higher. Okay, so hope you got that right. Well done if you have. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so this is from paper 3, June 2018. We're going to skip this part because it's not related to brackets. Expanding brackets. So here is question 20. This is also a higher question as well. Okay, press pause and have a go. If you're stuck, then you can also press play for the answer. Okay, so this is similar to what we've just done in the previous question. So if you got stuck, go back and have a look. So we've got 5 on the outside of the bracket. So 5 is going to be multiplying p. 5 is going to be multiplying 3. And then I've got here, now this depends how you look at it. Because of the sign, I'm going to say this is minus 2. So again, minus 2 is going to be multiplying 1. Minus 2 times 1. And minus 2 is going to be multiplying minus 2p. Okay, so we've now got positives and negatives. So I'm going to be extra slow in this because you can easily make mistakes. You can be careless and make silly mistakes here. So 5 times p is 5p. 5 times 3 is 15. And it's positive, so that's good. I don't need to worry about the signs. This is minus 2 and this is 1. A negative and a positive, so the different signs, so it's going to be negative. 2 times 1 is just 2. I've got a negative and a negative, so 2 negatives this time around. So minus 2 times minus 2p. So negative and a negative gives me a positive. So I've got the sign out of the way. Now I can do 2 times 2, which is 4, and I've got p. Okay, now I'm looking for my like term. So this is a p term. 5p. And this is another p term, 4p. 5p and 4p. So now I can ignore the p's. I can do 5 plus 4 gives me 9. So this is going to be 9p, or 5p plus 4p equals 9p. 9p, and then I'm going to do 15 take away 2. That gives me 13 plus 13. Okay, so a lot of work going on there. Again, you can easily make silly mistakes. So just be extra careful. All right, let's go to the next question. And if you're finding this video useful, do share this with your friends. Let's help the channel grow. Thank you. Here is the next question. This is from paper 2, November 2023. And again, very similar to what we've just done in the previous two questions. And you can see this is worth 2 marks. And again, this is both a higher and a foundation question. So this is a crossover question. They appear in both papers. Press pause and have a go. When you are ready, press play for the answer. All right, so outside the brackets here, I've got 3. So I'm going to be multiplying 3 by 2y. And I'm going to be multiplying 3 by minus 5. 3 times minus 5. Notice I'm including the signs now because I don't want to be making a mistake. I can easily make a mistake and forget. So this bracket has got 7 in front of it. So I've got 7 times y. And then the next one is going to be 7 times 2. Okay. Now, as you get more and more confident, you don't need to draw the boxes, but I'm just drawing them out because just to make it clear. And just by doing that as well, you can get a method mark, okay? Because you will get 4 terms. You're expanding out the brackets. So 3 times 2y, 3 times 2 is 6y, 3 times minus 5. So I've got a positive number and a negative number. That gives me a negative. 3 times 5 is 15. This is 7 times y, 7y, so plus 7y because they're positive. And then 7 times 2 is 14, and they're both positive as well. And just like the previous questions, I'm now going to be looking for the like terms. So I can see I've got the y term here, 6y. This is minus 15, a number. This is 7y. Okay, notice I'm including the sign as well. And this is a number term. So now I can do 6y plus 7y. You don't have to write the y's, but I've written it. 6 plus 7 is 13. So it's 13y. And then you got minus 5 plus minus 15, sorry. Minus 15 plus 14. I can swap them round. It's the same as 14 take away 15, which is minus 1. So it's minus 1. So that is my final answer. Did you get that right? Well done if you have. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, so now this is from paper 3, November 2019. Now this is now double brackets, but because we're expanding brackets, I just thought I would include double brackets. So this one is slightly different, but again similar. We've got on the outside of the brackets x and 5. So x is going to be multiplying this x. So it's going to be x times x. Then you've got x is also going to be multiplying this term here. X times minus 9, because that's minus 9. Then we have the 5 here. That's going to be multiplying the x. So I've got 5 times x, and I've got 5 that will multiply the minus 9. 5 times minus 9. Now again, I'm drawing the boxes. Once you become confident, you don't have to draw the boxes. But just by doing this, you're getting a method mark. Expanding the brackets, you are getting a method mark. So now let's do this. So x times x is x squared. X times minus 9. So positive and a negative is a negative. X times 9 is 9x. 5 times x is just 5x, and they're both positive. and this is 5 times 9 is 45, and you've got a positive and a negative, that gives me a negative. Okay, so those 4 terms gives you a method mark. All right. And now we look to simplify. This is the x squared term. Okay, it's an x squared term because of the sign x squared. Now there's nothing here that is an x squared term. So this stays as it is. So this is x squared. All right, now if I look closely, this is 9x and 5x. So these are x terms. So these are like terms now, x terms. So now I can do minus 9x plus 5x. I can swap the order around. 5x take away 9x. Sometimes it's easier to do it like that. It's going to be a negative number, negative 4x. And then my number term stays as it is, minus 45. Okay. So this is double brackets. So I hope you got that right. The final answer is x squared, take away 4x, take away 45. All right. My intention is to do a video on double brackets. So don't worry, I have that planned. I'll do a double brackets video. Let's go to the next question. Okay, so this is now from paper 1, November 2023. Press pause and have a go. If you're stuck or when you're ready, press play for the answer. So again, similar to the last question, we've got double brackets. So that means this 3x is going to be multiplying the 2x. And then this 3x is going to be multiplying the minus 5. And then this 2 is going to be multiplying the 2x. And then this 2 is going to be multiplying the minus 5. Okay, just by having these 4 terms, again, you get a method mark. Okay, so you can see now we've got lots of little things going on here. We've got we've got a number in front of the x here as well as that. So there's a lot going on here. So I am going to be kind of doing a lots here. So you've got 3 times 2, put the numbers together, and then the letters together. So 3 times 2 is 6, x times x is x squared. Okay, so that's that one. Now this one here, 3x times minus 5. So positive and a negative is a negative. Let's deal with that first. And then you've got 3 times 5 is 15x. These two are positive, 2 times 2x. So that's just going to be plus 2 times 2 is 4x. And then the last term, 2 times 5 is 10. Then you've got, that's it. Then you've got a positive and a negative, gives me a negative number. And just like before, this is a squared term, so it stays as it is, 6x squared. This is an x term. This is an x term, so that's plus 4x. So again, I'm going to do minus 15x plus 4x. I'm going to do it the other way around because I find it easier. That gives me 4x take away 15x, or 4 take away 15 is 11, minus 11. So minus 11x, and then you got the minus 10 there. So my final answer is 6x squared, take away 11x, take away 10. All right, well done if you got that. All right, and this is the penultimate question. Okay, so 2 questions left. Again, similar to before, we've got double brackets. So press pause and have a go. So expand and simplify. So I'm going to be multiplying 5x by 2x. I'm going to be multiplying 5x by minus 3. I'm going to be multiplying 2 by 2x. And I'm going to be multiplying 2 by minus 3. Okay, so again, if you do these 4 terms, you get a method mark. 5 times 2 times x times x. 5 times 2 is 10. x times x is x squared. 5x times minus 3, so positive and a negative gives me a negative. 5 times 3 is 15, and I've got x there. These are two positive numbers, so plus 2 times 2 is 4, x, positive and a negative here, so that gives me a negative. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, and then I can see this is a squared term. There's no squared terms here. 10x squared. This is an x term, this is an x term, so these are like terms. So I'm going to have minus 15x plus 4x. That gives me minus 11x. That's minus 11x. And then take away 6, my number term. Okay, hopefully you got that right as well. Well done if you have. And here we go on to the last question of today's session, this video. This is from paper 2, November 2017. And again, we have another double brackets here. So this is 2x plus 1, 3x take away 2. Press pause and have a go. When you're ready, or if you're stuck, press play for the answer. Hopefully, you will be getting this right now, and you will be following the steps and all of the working out that we've done. So we're doing 2x times 3x. Two x times by minus 2. One times 3x. And then we got 1 times minus 2. Okay, so now we simplify this. 2 times 2 gives me 2 times 3, sorry. 2 times 3 gives me 6. X squared. X times x is that. Then you got 2 times 2 is 4. X. This is a positive and a negative. That gives me a negative. 1 times 3 is 3x there, and they're both positive. And the last one here, we've got a positive and a negative, so that's going to be negative. 1 times 2 is 2. And again, this is an x squared term. There's no other x squareds here, so this is 6x squared. We've got x here, x term, so that's minus 4. And we have another x term here, so it's plus 3. So my working out here is going to be minus 4x plus 3x. That gives me minus 1x. Minus 1x, and then that's a number term, take away 2. All right, well done if you've got that. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Take care, everybody. See you next time. Assalamu alaikum. Bye-bye.